It's that time again.
Yep. We are Team Wester.
And you are the most important thing to us.
Team Wester
Podcast. It's all about the team.
Welcome back to the Wester Podcast. I'm Clay Moden, joined by Wester's own Brad Gelber. And, man, we're getting ready for the holidays. We're back out here for another exciting edition today.
Yeah, and I think we have Thanksgiving coming up, or depending when you're watching this, maybe it already passed, but everyone's in the mood to eat right now.
Yeah, if you love food, man, today is going to be the perfect day.
Yes, we're joined today by Alex Dispence, a.k.a. Sup Chef. Alex, how's it going?
What's up, guys? Thanks for having me.
Yeah.
I appreciate it.
So I think we wanted to just start before we get into anything. We wanted to ask you, what's Sup Chef? Like, where did the name come from?
Yeah, so in the culinary world, a lot of times when you go to hotels or whatever, when you're working, you call each other chef, right? So it's like very like professional and almost sometimes military, like, hey, yes, chef, no chef, right? But when you're with your buddies, it's like, what's up, chef, right?
Okay, yeah.
So that's kind of how I've answered the phone to my friends and stuff for the last, 10 years. So I just wanted to kind of be like, what's up, chef? Like, just I'm a chef, but it's just like a friendly what's up, right? So I think that's kind of how it started. And yeah, I've kind of changed it into, because I don't do a lot of fine dining foods and stuff like that anymore. I just do friendly and comforting stuff that I want to eat and that people just want to go out and get, so it's like almost like I've turned it into like this. It's not this fine dining chef. It's like a friendly chef in a way. So approachable food, I guess you could say.
So this is nice because of all the podcasts we've done. This is the first time you guys have fed me. So
Yeah.
I'm very happy about that.
Yeah.
But no, we've got him cooking right here on this episode today. Sup, Chef, what are we going to be eating today?
Right. So a lot of things that I make on my channel are buffalo inspired, right? So I'm making these chicken wing dip sliders, which are a big hit. I've done them all over the place, and everyone loves wing dip, right? But I don't know, these are just, my wing dip is pretty good, so I thought I'd bring that in today.
If you can tell us, obviously, if not, it's totally cool if it's proprietary, but what is so special about it? Is there something in there that other chefs maybe don't know about, or what makes these so good?
Well, I think it's probably, it might compete with your mom's or grandma's or whatever,
Yeah,
right?
It's the love in there, right?
Yeah, that's really it. There's nothing crazy about it. I just cook from the heart, and I happen to be all right at it. So, no, nothing proprietary about it at all. I just put lots of blue cheese and everything you'd put in yours, but I guess I just have my own little style of it.
So how did you actually, in the interest of who you are, obviously you're here today, but, you have kind of a cool story because I assume you're originally from Western New York, and you can tell us, but kind of like how did you come to become Sup Chef? And you have a pretty big social following too. It was a cool story there. So tell us a little bit about you and your journey.
Definitely. So I was cooking in restaurants just like any other local chef, and a lot of it was luck. So I just started posting videos in like 2019. Hired some like a local photographer and videographer, and to kind of guide me on how to be more active on social media. The industry's tough, being a chef is really hard, and kudos to the guys that are still doing it, the guys and girls who are still doing it. It's tough. There's not a lot of staff. Hours are crazy. You work every holiday. You don't really see your family a lot. And I don't know, it was maybe just not for me, I guess, anymore. It became not fun. And making the videos was like a way that I didn't like cooking anymore. It was too much. And making the videos was like, man, I'm cooking again. I'm not working on schedules and dealing with this panic of the restaurants. Mm-hmm. So yeah, it just became a new way to connect with food. And then, one thing led to the next, and it just snowballed. And before I knew it, I had, 100,000 followers or something very quickly. And I saw that there was some ability to monetize. And I was like, okay, there's no going back. I'm obsessed with this, and this is the future of Alex Dispence or Sup Chef. And, so there's no looking back from there. So
Is it hard when you are out eating somewhere or someone cooks for you to break away from that? Because whatever industry you're in, sometimes it's like I cannot get away from this, even when I'm on vacation. For me, it's radio. I'm always hearing it. But when you're out eating or somebody cooks for you, is it hard not to be critical?
it's funny. A lot of people think that, but no, for me, it's like I love food. I love food, whether it's sometimes it's, I can appreciate food that's not like, I don't necessarily need to eat fine dining food or whatever all the time. Like my favorite food is pizza. And local shops around here do it phenomenally, right? And sometimes if I'm on the road or whatever and I get a slice of gas station pizza, I can appreciate that for what it is, right? Yeah. I don't necessarily love it, but you know what you're eating. It's $1 for a slice of pie or whatever, or a cheeseburger from McDonald's, right? Sometimes you can appreciate those things in a way too. But yeah, I know what you mean. Like I actually, yeah, there is a sense of that, right? Because I don't want to go to fine dining restaurants anymore. I don't really want to be hanging out with chefs and stuff like that, just because, like you said, you're listening to the radio. It's like
can't get away from it.
You want to get away from it, right? Mm-hmm. So, yeah, I enjoy the simple life that I kind of created for myself. I'm actually kind of shy. I'm actually kind of to myself with my family and stuff like that, which is weird to see because I have 1.5 million followers.
Right.
But yeah, I mean, I was at a conference yesterday and I was too shy to raise my hand and ask a question, right? So a lot of people don't understand. Like I'm just a regular guy, you know. So
at home, then who cooks? Is it you or your wife who's typically making that decision, or for the week? Do you plan out meals?
Yeah.
Should we all be doing that?
No, we tag team it, and I eat out a lot. Like, so I'm at the point where I'm running my own business and I'm grinding it out and stuff like that. So I'm not always home at 5 o'clock for dinner time. I have better hours than at the restaurant, but still I'm all over the place. And yeah, but my wife is a phenomenal cook as well. So it's awesome.
When it's a primary day for you, maybe is not the conventional. You just said like I'm not home out at 9, home at 5 type of thing. For you, aside from being a content creator, like what else does involved in your business? Do you do catering? Like what do you do for kind of the cooking side of things?
Yeah, so it's everything. Like I do a lot of like sales, and I do a lot of calls, trying to connect with brands. I work with some awesome businesses like Tops and Ice, which is an arcade manufacturer in Clarence. They make super checks. So I help them with some of their content as well.
Oh, the bubble hockey guys.
That's right.
Yeah, okay.
That's right. Yeah, so they're phenomenal. I help them with some of their content as well. So my days are crazy. I'm all over the place. I have an intern now who helps me. But yeah, every day is really a new journey. And but I just finished up bubble hockey. Speaking of bubble hockey, I just finished a charity event with them, and I threw a charity event. We raised, I think, almost $15,000 for pediatric cancer, awesome. And that was like a full-time job running that charity, right? Mm-hmm. So I took that on myself, and now that that's over, I focus on other things. We're launching some products and stuff like that. So yeah, it's been nuts. It's hard to even explain a day almost.
So for those that are like novice at social media or even novice at being a chef right now, can you give us any insight as to like, okay, here's one bit of information that's a game changer to reach your followers?
Totally. That's just posting, right? So a lot of times restaurants and stuff, they'll ask me, how do I have a better social media profile or a bigger social footprint, you could say? And for me, it's like, are you posting? When's the last time you posted? Oh, you posted this special in May, right? So, if you started a business, generally you have a story to tell. And whether that's selling cars or serving food or a service or a product, just get after it and post a little bit on social media. It's not challenging to start. And as you go, you'll learn more. For instance, maybe, you're a restaurant and there's a phenomenal restaurant on the street. See their social media, see what they do, right? Mm-hmm. Create almost a mentor without them knowing you're their mentor.
Right.
Because there's so much to learn just by people are putting it out there for free, and you can watch YouTube videos, and there's so much information that's at your fingertips right now. But for me, that's what I did. I just started. I made a lot of mistakes, but I started, and I posted every day for, I think, every day for a year and a half or so. And a lot of things didn't work, and some things did, and I doubled down on what worked, and then, continued to learn.
And in terms of, hitting back on the charity for a second, because I think, here at West Herr, that's obviously a part of our DNA. The fabric of who we are is giving back to the community, and led by, our CEO, Scott Beeler Down. That's kind of just like who West Herr is. It's really cool that you found a way to kind of kickstart some charity initiatives. And we had Dawson Knox on the show recently, who's a big advocate for punt as well. But for yourself, are you involved in any other local charities? Because, sometimes when you have a platform of your size, not that there's an obligation to do it, but sometimes people do like to give back. So it seems like that's kind of where you've been at.
Yeah, definitely. I don't have any like my own charity or anything at this point. Punt. I talked to Punt years ago, and I have a son, and they told me their story, and I was in my car bawling my eyes out. So I just felt super called to get involved, and it took some time before we figured out how to do that. And it was like, oh, should we go cook for people? Should we do some event? And then finally I was like, let's just do something that would be fun for us to raise some money, and because they know what to do with it. I don't know if I can make a difference in somebody's life, but they certainly can, right? Mm-hmm. And we can figure out a way to give money because we have a huge audience. So that's kind of how it came to be. But I've done some other stuff. I matched a donation to Tops to the SPCA, and but there's so many amazing organizations and charities out there that are doing something. So everybody could kind of somehow get it connected with one. So to the listeners, like there's got to be something you're called to, even if you can volunteer an hour.
You talk about millions of followers, viewers on TikTok videos. Has anybody reached out to you? I mean, obviously we're going to be talking about some of the famous Buffalonians and Team West Herr members too, but has anybody reached out to you like, oh my goodness, you saw my video? Like, can I cook for you? Or who would you love to cook for?
Well, for me, Josh has always been like a big, it's been on my list, of course, like probably every person in Buffalo would say that. But it was really cool to cook with Dawson. What a phenomenal guy he is. I mean, just above everything, like he was just the nicest dude you'd ever meet. I've gotten a lot of really cool DMs from, celebrities and stuff like that. And it's just mind blowing to me. Like you almost get like the imposter syndrome sometimes about it. But Josh would be, which I feel at some point we'll do something with Josh. But I know that one that's a tough question. I don't know even who else I could think of right now, but I guess Josh is the next one on the list for me. So.
And being here on the Team West Herr podcast, obviously something we enjoy talking about is football. And I know you yourself, you're a big Buffalo fan here. And you have a big event coming up with your birthday here this weekend. So why don't you tell us a little bit about, obviously this food that we're going to eat today and that you cook especially is really like aimed at being tailgating food, if you will. So kind of like for you, what's that been like being a fan and kind of like honing your craft around something that, tailgating's a big deal in Buffalo. We all know that.
Right. It's funny. I was actually, when I was a chef, I worked every Sunday ever. So I kind of became a fan of nothing forever. I just cut everything out. You had to make tons of sacrifices to be a chef, and football and just hobbies in general were a sacrifice I was happy to make to be a chef. So now that I'm in this space and a business owner, I can do fun things that I enjoy, and watching football is absolutely one of them. So my birthday's coming up. My brother's coming in town. We're gonna go to the game. Hopefully we get snowed on and have a bunch of fun and we win. It's I love doing the tailgates and stuff. I did some amazing VIP tailgates in the past with some really cool people like Eric Wood. Eric Wood is the nicest guy you'd ever meet. Big fella, and Shooter McGavin was there and stuff, and that was super cool. And meeting all those guys and cooking for them and stuff was super fun. And But I'm not sure if that answered your question. But I'm super happy to be able to have the space and time and brain capability to be a fan of football.
Sup, Chef. When it comes to a tailgate, though, do you recommend people keep it simple? Like, what's your go-to if we're gonna get ready for your birthday weekend? What's something that we should think about cooking?
Well, if you can, I think barbecuing is a great fit because you can bring a piece of meat that's seasoned and bring your smoker, and that's all you really need, right? You can have some sides that you put with it, of course, but I think barbecue is a phenomenal fit for a tailgate, but I'm not a big barbecue guy. Like, I'm not the best at it, right? So I always go with, like, I have a pizza oven, so I bring that, and I'll make pizzas and stuff. That's pretty fun. I'll do wings. I love, we did smash burgers one time, something that's fun, but I think you got to keep it simple. There's some people that go crazy with it, and hats off to them for that. So.
Do you do any, I love venison. I love, wild game, too. Do you do any of that at tailgates, or do you do any specialties with that at all?
Actually, no. I've never done any, venison at a tailgate, but it's a great idea. One of the best meals I've ever made was my father-in-law got a deer, 5-10 years ago, I can't even remember, and I asked him, what do you do with the ribs? And he's like, I'll take the meat out and we'll grind it. And I said, well, can I just give me a rib or a chunk of a rib, right? And I took it and I made it, and I boiled it in chicken stock for, like an hour, and then I think we smoked it, and then I grilled it. So we did a lot to it, but it was incredible. I actually had some people call them poison glands or back straps, but we had a fillet as well, and I grilled that off from that same deer, and people would pass the fillet just to get some of the ribs.
That's a great idea. I never even thought of that.
People, it's great to grind it up.
Right.
But, it's a fun piece of meat to grill or smoke or whatever, so.
And being in Buffalo, obviously, wings are a big deal. So looking at your social media, some of the stuff you said, you have a lot of different of these pizzas that you've made, different cool kinds of pizzas, different wings. How do you come up with these ideas? Because you don't just always go with the basic, medium wings that you get at, a bar or something.
Yeah.
You get some really cool, unique style. So where do you think of that stuff? Is it, user-generated, someone DMs you and is like, hey, man, try this cereal-coated chicken wing? Or, how do you come up with some of the more creative ideas that you have?
Well, a lot, yeah. So I'm pretty good at coming up with ideas, right? Whether it's for wings or whatever. But I will say that, so I'm doing a wing right now for every football team. So every city would get a wing, right? So we just did, for Atlanta, we did a peach cobbler, and then we turned the peach cobbler into a barbecue sauce, and then made a peach cobbler barbecue wing. What did we do yesterday? For New Orleans, we did a pecan praline Cajun wing, right? So take a little bit of their city, whether it's their football, whether it's their culinary history, and we kind of use that and turned it into a wing. We did New England clam chowder for the Patriots, right? We did a regular buffalo wing for Buffalo. So, yeah, so it's actually challenging, though. So I have I think we're at season or episode 12 or 13, and there's that many more to go. And,
I wonder what you're going to do for the Seahawks.
Or Jacksonville.
Or
right?
Jacksonville,
right?
Yeah,
so
right. The Panthers.
That's when
geez.
so Carolina, right? Barbecue, right? Kansas City barbecue, right? So there's a lot of that, but there's some ones out there where you're like, man, what do they eat in Indianapolis, right? They have pork sandwiches. Okay, how do you turn that into a wing, right?
Sure.
So there is a lot of my gears are trying to figure something out up there, but yeah, some are easy. Nashville hot wings for Tennessee, but some are not so easy.
And when you come, you, like we talked about, with your following has opened some doors for you, some different fun things you've been able to do. You actually have an honor, I'll call it, coming up on December 11th when Buffalo faces New Jersey, as I'll put it, again here in Orchard Park. But you're going to get a pretty cool thing that's going to come up for you career-wise. Talk a little bit about what's going on then.
Yeah, so I'm working with Delaware North to put on the M&T Bank as a club virtually in the stadium. So I'll be the guest chef and they kind of are highlighting some local people. Some chefs like Darian Bryan and myself are able to go in and kind of put on their own menu or specialty items for the people in the club, right? So when Buffalo plays, New Jersey, as we'll say, I'll be the guest chef there, and we're gonna do some fun stuff. I have these chicken wing dip sliders, and I'm also gonna do a play on elote, which is like that Mexican street corn, but I'm actually gonna do it instead of corn, because it's hard to eat that, right? Especially like in a social setting. Take a bite of corn, and the poor person in front of you is just gonna get like, smashed with corn pieces, right? So I'm gonna do it with a soft pretzel, and kind of just a play on it, right? So.
Do you try this stuff at home first? Like, is there like a trial?
Does someone get to eat all this stuff?
Who's the lucky person that gets to try it all?
I know. I really actually should tell people when I'm cooking. That way I can have people just come taste test stuff, because a lot of times it's just me, and I kind of get sick of stuff sometimes. But these look and smell great.
It does smell fantastic.
Yeah.
You filled up the showroom. We've got people looking like, okay, what's going on with lunch over there?
I know, it's awesome. I love it.
So do people have a chance to reach out to you via social media and be like, hey, sub chef, I got an event coming up. Can you help me? I got a special occasion for my kids. Can you help me? Whether it's you cooking for them or an idea?
Yeah, definitely. I'm always available to talk, but I don't do a lot of events or anything anymore. I just do a lot of I focus a lot on the media and that business. Mm-hmm. So for the right person, I might say, sure, something, whether a family member or something, or if one of the football players or hockey players or something reached out, I would do something. But I have a small studio, and I do sometimes have I've had some of the players come in and do some private stuff. But a lot of times it's content based. They want to be on the channel. We had Dane Smith from the Bandits, who's an absolute legend. And one of the nicest guys. He came over to the studio, and we made him some signature wings based on his history in Canada and stuff like that. So.
And then wrapping up here, I know we're running against the window here, and I know hopefully we'll get to taste this before it's over. Right, but like a typical Sunday or game day for you, where you're not maybe working, what are you doing? Are you watching with family games? Yeah. Are you at a tailgate? Are you cooking and watching? What's that like?
I totally prefer just to be at home, order a pizza and some wings, and just watch the game on TV. I totally prefer that over anything. But I go to a couple games a year usually. But man, I just love watching football at home. Yeah. So simple.
All right. So we're trying out these sliders today. These are your famous buffalo wing sliders.
He's letting us preview. I think he said this is like an early taste test.
Oh, okay. We get to try it out first.
That's
all right.
It. Yep. I don't know if they're famous, but I bet they're pretty good. So we'll try.
This is my first official sub chef food. So
Me too.
I'm very excited about that.
It's funny. Not a lot of people have really gotten a chance to try my food in person. So
man,
all the perks here on the Team Western podcast.
This is huge bragging rights right now. It looks amazing. I'm telling you, the showroom smells amazing. Thank you. Got it. Let that cool for a minute.
Definitely gonna have to take a trip to the gym later on after this deliciousness here.
I see you on Twitter. You'll be all right.
Yeah. All right, here we go.
Yeah. Clay jumped in first.
I'm not scared. These are awesome. Perfect.
Delicious.
Honestly, we have 3 kids at home. They would love these too.
Yep.
This is the perfect. Dad's cooking tonight. We need a snack quick.
Yep.
Well, sub chef says go with the buffalo wing slider.
Yeah, that or I do this easy French bread, Italian bread pizza. Go to the Tops, get the loaf, and make a pizza with it. Oh my God, it's incredibly delicious, super easy. It takes 20 minutes or so. And yeah, that one goes crazy on social media. People love it.
So people watched you just make this kind of as we were talking, but I guess if you were just going to the store right now and you wanted to kind of do this, what would the steps take? How do you do this?
You go buy a rotisserie chicken and take all the meat off and add cream cheese, some cheddar cheese, and buffalo hot sauce and some blue cheese. I use the Diggs blue cheese and some herbs if you want. But yeah, you don't have to go crazy. It's super simple. Just mix it around until it looks about right. There's no crazy recipe I can come up with off the top of my head, but Yeah, it's super simple. Super simple.
So we're getting into the winter months. People are going to be stuck at home, maybe doing some cooking.
Yeah.
We can sort through some of your videos and get these tips right away, probably too.
Definitely, yeah. I mean, I would say my content, my videos are more inspiration. So, for instance, like, oh man, I really want to make that. I don't give a lot of like step one. Here's your chicken. Step two. I sometimes assume people are better cooks than maybe they are, but I think a lot of people can see something and figure it out. I mean, people are smart.
Very good.
Good stuff.
It's delicious. Yeah, I mean,
There's more.
we're already
There's
done.
more. There's
so
more.
I think our camera crew here will probably want to jump in as
Yeah, and
well.
all the
right.
other employees here at the Toyota store. So
That's awesome.
thank you so much for your time.
Absolutely, yeah,
And best of
absolutely.
luck to you. Happy birthday.
Appreciate you. Yeah, thanks, guys.
We had a great afternoon, great food. Chef joining us today, sub chef Alex Dispence, and I'm Clay Moden for Brad Gelber. Obviously, still enjoying my food. Have a great time. We'll catch you back here next time on the West Herr Podcast.